Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And this is war. This is war, according to Elon Musk. They're going to go to war with Google and advertisers. They said that they're going to sue the advertisers over an alleged boycott of X. Now, we know that X has had problems with getting advertising since Elon Musk took over, and he famously or infamously told Bob Iger to go F himself, last year. And now they're saying it's a global conspiracy, that there was an organization, this GARM organization, was kind of working potentially with Google to keep advertisers off of X, and also can I say the
no, just say the R word.
The R word. It rhymes with I can show it on screen. Rhymes with Tumble. Apparently, people are saying that you're not allowed to promote the R word video platform on YouTube either, which again would definitely be some serious antitrust stuff there. But yeah, we're going to talk about this because people are like, well, they are allegedly boycotting.
Well, they're saying
X.
allegedly because they don't want to get their ass sued. I mean, understandably.
Right.
So why they're using the term alleged.
So let's talk about this, and we're going to do a little bit of a follow up on the Google monopoly, the lawsuit, the antitrust lawsuit, and we don't know what the remedies are going to be for that yet. We don't know if they're going to get fined or they're going to have to break it up or what. But before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So yeah, let's talk about Elon Musk suing advertisers first, and then we'll get into the Google antitrust stuff. This comes from Wired, so take it or leave it. Elon Musk's X sues advertisers over alleged boycott. The platform's antitrust lawsuit claims an alleged conspiracy to withhold advertising dollars. Right-wing video site R word that rhymes with Tumble filed a similar suit today. Yeah, they're actually working together. They said this is war. They said we're going to attack them. And I do know that Tumble place apparently has already filed a lawsuit against Google because they've been delisting them in the search results and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yes. And they will allow.
If they can prove that, that's a big deal.
Oh, yeah. Well, and they banned the use of the API because on the that Tumble place, you used to be able to automatically import your YouTube videos, and you can't do that now, but like other competitors can, the ones that aren't as big.
Oh, really? Because I know that you used to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So people wonder why we're not on that site as often as we used to be, because I actually have to think about it. I have to take several extra steps to do it. And I'm going to be honest, the advertising money is not as good. So there's not, as much of an incentive, but that's probably because of this situation going on here.
The allegedly, probably, maybe, possibly.
Probably, maybe. Yeah. They said the suit filed in federal court in Texas says dozens of advertisers followed the recommendation of a key advertising coalition. This sounds like a freaking evil organization from a comic book. GARM.
The Global Alliance for Responsible Media. By responsible media, they just mean vote the way they want.
Right.
Push the narratives they want. That's what it means. Responsible, they make the mistake. When they say responsible, that just means you push the narratives that they're pushing.
Right. So this is probably one of those organizations that are like, you're promoting false narratives, and you're promoting election misinformation, you're promoting vaccine misinformation. Misinformation. Because there are several like nonprofit sites out there that basically go out of their way to smear any alternative media. Anything that's not NBC or ABC or CNN, they go out there and try to smear.
Well, that's just it. Global Alliance for Responsible Media would imply that. I don't know, but it's allegedly.
GARM.
What I know. It would imply these media outlets who don't want YouTube eating their lunch or people eating their lunch would,
Lord GARM, Elon Musk would like some advertising. Tell him to go fuck himself.
All right. I just think it's funny. Anyway.
Suit says this term of events cost the company billions of dollars in revenue. The lawsuit seeks unspecified damages for violation of U.S. antitrust law. Everybody's suing everybody for antitrust. The right-wing video site that rhymes with Tumble, founded more than 10 years ago as an alternative to YouTube and positioned as a platform immune to cancel culture, announced on Tuesday that it had filed a similar lawsuit. Yeah, they're teaming up together. GARM was a conspiracy to perpetuate an advertiser boycott of that place that rhymes with Tumble and others. I mean, right there, that tells you, okay, the fact that I can't even talk about them in a YouTube video shows you how far down the rabbit hole goes. Now, I don't know if that's still the case, but I know several people
say rabbit hole, I say asshole. Same thing.
How far up the asshole has the gerbil gone? They said it's illegal. They said the U.S. House Judiciary Committee, which is controlled by Republicans and has expressed concern about censorship of right-wing views on social media, has been investigating GARM.
Okay, here's my thing right now. Okay, right here. The fact that they're like, oh, it's Republican run and they're worried about censorship of Republicans. It shouldn't matter whether they're, if it's Democrat or Republican run. Yeah. You shouldn't be censored either way. You know what I mean? That the fact that they have to spell that out for this article, that says a lot too. It doesn't. That shouldn't even be something that's relevant. Just the censorship doesn't matter.
So I saw the video yesterday. The ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino said she was shocked by the evidence. Now she came from I think she came from Universal, and she, I believe, is left wing, and she's even like, what the hell is going on? A person
would be like, as I said, it doesn't matter. Like, they're putting this political bent onto it, and I'm sure it's politically motivated. Don't get me wrong. But that shouldn't make a difference. You know what I mean? Yeah. That tells you everything you need to know.
So the Judiciary Committee said there had been a systemic illegal boycott against X. And Yaccarino attempted to rally users. She said basically they're targeting the company. They want to cut the money off. This is how it always works. When there is an alternative, okay, and people are like, why doesn't alt tech work? Well, every time they try, if they can't get to them legally, then they use the media to smear them. And if that doesn't work, then they shut the money off. I mean, basically everything withers and dies when you shut the money off. And that's kind of what's going on here is they're like, well, Rumble could be a viable alternative to YouTube. It could. Both X and that place that rhymes with Tumble could be a viable alternative to YouTube, and we can't have that. So we're going to turn the advertising off.
But I think it's funny because so even GARM isn't the ultimate evil. It's run by the World Federation of Advertisers.
It sounds like a cartoon.
WFAD.
This sounds like a damn cartoon.
The FAD oversees GARM.
Right. But wait, there's a bigger boss. It's not just Cobra Commander. There's Cobra Law.
It's just like
in Brussels.
The WFAD, the WFAD is overseeing GARM.
This sounds like a freaking James Bond freaking comic book or something. This is some weird shit. The Brussels-based World Federation of Advertisers oversees GARM, which is the Global Alliance for Responsible Media. But wait,
the
there's more.
The lawsuit also names Unilever, Mars, CVS, and Danish energy company as defendants.
The Tumble suit targets the ad agency WPP. None of the companies immediately responded to requests for comment. I will tell. Can I kind of go into a little bit of detail on the publisher side as to how these organizations operate? I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm not going to name names, but there are actually organizations that oversee some of the ad networks on websites and video ad networks and whatever, because it's all the same thing, right? You have a handful of companies basically that handle or manage the advertising for, all the streaming services, and they handle it for the websites, and they handle it, probably they buy for YouTube. And some of them actually have basically like a sensitivity consultancy firm or two that they answer to. And these people take a look at the ads and see if these ads are bankrolling the wrong things. And that's what they do. It's another way that they try to shut the money off to wrong thinkers.
It shouldn't be that way, but that's what's going on. It's about where you stand politically and and how they think that where your views stand according to them. That's what's responsible. That's the moral thing.
Yeah, well, here it is right here. Through GARM, advertisers have been able to aggregate their power, establish industry standards for content moderation, and enforce them. So, and again, this is
this ties back to the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Because a certain company that uses mouse ears had a lot to do with, the
adpocalypse.
And no, I'm saying demanding that there's certain content be certain ways. and things like that.
Yeah. And so, and again, there are organizations out there that, especially during the last election, during the pandemic, they were like, well, just so you know, advertiser, your content is appearing on this website or this YouTube channel or this podcast or whatever. And, you know, they're no good nicks. And, we're going to advise that you don't advertise, on them. And they actually keep a tally of websites and podcasts and YouTube channels. And well, YouTube wouldn't even let them through it all. I guarantee you that, you know, but they keep track, they keep score. You know, don't advertise on these sites, you know, and a lot of it, I mean, is some of it legit shitty takes? Probably. Some of it though is just like, yeah, this is a contrary opinion and we're not going to let you advertise. But in this case, they lost my feeling on this is they lost Twitter. They had Twitter. They had Twitter locked down and now they don't. And they're ass mad about it. So they're just going to try to starve it. They're going to try to starve it out is what they're going to do. Same with the Tumble place. They're going to try to starve it. But what they're doing is just controlling what people can see.
They're talking about after Musk bought the company. It said Twitter ads immediately following his purchase of the company dropped. Over the next 2 months, at least 18 Guard member advertisers, including Mars and Unilever, stopped buying Twitter ads. Yep. People are like, what's the big deal? Well, I'll tell you what the big deal is. Because here's the companies that these people own. Unilever owns Dove, Hellmann's, Knorr, Axe, Ben & Jerry's, Comfort, Lifebuoy, OMO, Persil, Sif, Domestos, Love and Beauty Planet, Magnum Ponds. They own like all these Breyers, Close Up, Glow and Lovely, Lipton. It goes on and on and on about how they own. And then Mars owns a bunch of stuff too. They own like the Mars line. They own different restaurant, different things. Kind, True, Ben's, Uncle Ben's, Skittles, Pedigree, Royal Canin, Snickers, Whiskas, M&M's. You know, they own a bunch of crap too.
It's giant megacorp that owns everything.
When you look at these flow charts, you can find pictures, and the stuff they own is extensive. So It sounds like there's only a few companies. No, but these companies own a lot of the brands you buy. You just don't know they own it.
Yeah. So they're talking about Elon Musk at the summit last year where he told Bob Iger to go F himself. They said November 2023, and this is where we're going to get into this. November 2023, the nonprofit media watchdog Media Matters group.
Media Matters. Isn't that the one that's like a scammy dipshit group?
They were the ones. They're the ones basically. Okay, so again, back to the advertising thing and how it works.
Sued over this stuff.
They are getting. They were getting sued. I don't know if there's a lawsuit pending or what happened with them, but they're the ones. I'm 95% sure they were calling Dave Rubin an anti-homosexual, anti-LGBTQ bigot, and he's gay. He's openly gay. He's posted pictures of his husband and his kids.
Media Matters, weren't they the ones that allegedly, possibly, maybe, were trying to cheat the algorithm on Twitter so that it was showing like, you know, anti-Semitic and stuff like that responses, you know, to different things. They were vastly manipulated
the algorithm, and you can't tell me that they didn't have somebody that used to work for Twitter that knew how this worked.
And so try to make it look
like Disney was sponsoring anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Now it's cool to be an anti-Semite, I guess, on Twitter. Now it's fashionable.
Yeah, they're saying that it was showing pro-Nazi. That's why you're not hearing about it anymore.
Right.
Content that had been appearing alongside advertising from reputable brands because they're getting sued for the manipulation of the data or whatever.
Right.
Anyway.
Yes, that's what they did.
They were allegedly getting sued.
They manipulated it, and then they went running to Disney. It was, Disney, remember what happened with that PewDiePie thing? And that whole thing, too, I think was blown out of proportion. The adpocalypse and the COPPA stuff, all that stuff was blown out of proportion because it was about getting, basically choking out YouTube channels that were becoming a threat to the mainstream media.
That was part of it. But the other part of it was, so when that happened and stuff happened, like the apocalypses, the ad rates dropped, and people that were like complaining the most also got better ad rates by threatening to not put ads on these
because like Coke, I know, like they were like begging them to. YouTube was like begging them to. So this is all connected. All this stuff's connected. We'll talk about this, and we're going to go into Google territory here. But it said, X alleges that GARM has yet to rescind the boycott by refraining from purchasing advertising from X. Boycotting advertisers are foregoing a valuable opportunity to purchase low-priced advertising inventory on a platform with brand safety that meets or exceeds industry standards. So basically, you're telling your people not to advertise on our platform just because, Elon got into a pissing match with Bob Iger or whatever. But we know it's about more than that. A preview of advertisers' potential defense to the new lawsuits. Sarah K. Wiley, Director of Policy at the Advertising Watchdog Group. Again, check my ads. Director of Policy at the Advertising Watchdog Group. Check my ads. Again, I just got done telling you, there are multiple groups out there that they basically filter all of the advertising and then they report back to the companies and they tell them, well, do you know they ran your ads on that Tumble place? Do you know that you were helping bankroll anti-Semitic content? Do you know
that your ad was shown to puppy abusers? Because when you do an ad spend, a lot of times you don't have a lot of control over where the ads show up. Like if you're doing a Google campaign or something like that. So what they do is they go bitch about certain websites or whatever, and then they get them removed from the advertising spend to choke them off. That's what it's all about. Make no mistake, there's complete, total, agendas going on under all this.
And you might think it's just like, well, we don't want to support whatever kind of content. 9 times out of 10, it's not about that. It's not about the public safety. It's about knocking out competitors and finding a loophole to knock out your competitor. And this shit's been going on for centuries, going back to like newspapers and mudslinging and shit. And that's what they're doing, because I think at the end of it, big Google views X and that Tumble place as potential competitors. Notice that they're not going after BitChute. They're not going after Odyssey because they don't view them as being a legitimate competitor. But X and that Tumble place, and especially given the people that are in charge and the massive amounts of money that they have, yeah, they are legitimate competitors. So they're gonna treat them as such.
Well, last paragraph's interesting.
Yeah, it said alleging unfair competition isn't a new tactic for smaller social media companies. In May, that Tumble place sued Google's advertising business, also alleging antitrust violations. Google last week filed a motion to dismiss the complaint on the basis that Tumble place lacked standing to sue because it wasn't using or competing with Google's offerings. That Tumble place does not belong in the current melee over Google's advertising technology. Yeah, it does, because a lot of times the video ads especially are like they basically have like DoubleClick. Well, it used to be called DoubleClick, but they have like an advertising pool. And if they can't fill it with their own ads that they sell directly, they'll just pull in from like Google's ads, whoever's running a video campaign. But really it's about choking them off because they are a competitor in the video space. And they were pulling some of the people that like Google banned or whatever. They're pulling them over there. They're pulling super chat money over on that Tumble place. I can't believe we have to call it that Tumble place. So freaking stupid. People said that like Google's dinging videos even mention them. Boy, how is that legal? You can't even mention your competitor in a video. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so stupid. So yeah, they're like, will Google actually get broken up over this? And I think all of this stuff, all this antitrust stuff is all tied together. It's all connected because Google is the biggest advertising platform. And Google, I guarantee you, works with GARM and these other, to vet advertising. And we know that they're kind of trying to block.
It sounds like if you want advertising, you have to work with them.
You have to.
So I'm sure they probably do.
Well, no, I'm going to tell you the truth. Like advertising networks, if you're a publisher on a site, you got to run your site through, make sure it gets approved by Google. That is 100% true. And if you're not approved by Google, you're not going to show up in the search results. They're not going to vet your site. That's how it works. But we did this other video talking about this antitrust suit that basically Google had an unfair monopoly on search. And now there's another lawsuit in September that they have an unfair advantage in advertising. And I have to wonder if they're not going to have to just open it up a little bit, because if they don't, this does look very much like they're just trying to knock out competitors. And I think they're using like GARM and these other, I personally think they're using them as kind of a proxy to try to take out competitors.
That's your personal opinion.
That's my personal
opinion. Maybe.
Allegedly, possibly, maybe. That is and I've stated that is my personal opinion. I think that this whole thing, I think, is connected. I think it's all about controlling not just the narrative, but I think really at the end of the day, it's the ad money. It's about the money. Like, look, people can claim to be, the moral high ground or whatever. At the end of the day, it's always about the money.
It's always about money.
There's if you can't advertise on X and you can't advertise on that Tumble place, where are they going to spend their money? The only game in town, right? That's where they're going to spend it, because 99.9% of the time, unless somebody's doing direct ad sales, even on websites, it's through the big G. And even now, the big G. But that's it. So it's going to be really interesting to watch this, especially going into the election, because that's when people spend the most money on advertising, is in an election year. And now everybody's fighting over where to spend those dollars. So we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.